you're on, man. I didn't think you'd be able to get on tonight. Yo, that's fire. Yo, man. Hey, yo, do you remember that time, the first time that we smoked weed? Dude, so listen to this shit, bro. You remember this shit, right? So it was winter break, man. It was like eighth grade winter break. I was like 13 years old, and the next thing I know, I remember that it was our homie down the street. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna call him Lane. That's what we'll call him. Lane, he lived like a few houses down from me at the time, and he had already been smoking weed. He had already done that since he was, and we were all. I was like 13 at the time, so we were all around that age, and he had already done it. So it was like, okay, I guess it's the time. He had been talking about it. I had heard about it. I had heard about this, and I heard good things about it, and I heard bad things about it. I heard a lot of bad things, but it seemed like those bad things were just lies because I heard a lot of people doing it. So I was like, okay, word. So I used some Christmas money that I got from for Christmas because it was Christmas break, and we walked down to Lane's house, and I remember we walked down there, and it was me, it was Lane, Lane's older brother, and then Lane's older brother had two chicks over because they were going out for the night, and um, so I bring the money. It was $20. It was $20 a gram for this. So I bring $20 over to Lane's house, and I give it to him, and he's like, "All right," He gives it to his brother's friends, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna go get you some weed." Cool. They go and they come back, and me and Lane are just vibing out. We're chilling. We're just chilling in his brother's room, vibing out, and they're telling me about weed and stuff. They're telling me about Lane showing me his brother's bong named Zelda because they were naming bongs back then, I guess. So the two chicks get back, and I don't remember it. I don't remember both the chicks' name. We're gonna call one of them Hannah though, and Hannah was there, and they're all trying to get me to smoke this weed for the first time, right? They're like, all right, it's the first time, gather around, all things like that. And so I'll never forget this. They start breaking down the weed and they start packing it in the bowl, and then they light it for the bong. They light it, and they're like, suck, suck, suck. Pause, but like suck, suck. So I'm trying to use the bong the right way, and then they say blow. I don't know why they told me this, and I don't know why I did this, but they said blow, and so I just blew air into the bong, and the water went up, and it got the weed wet. And so that's they were saying. They're like, "Oh my God, you got the weed wet! You got the weed wet!" So they pull out the bowl, pull out the weed, make me a fresh bowl. And they're like, "Don't blow into the bong, blow it, out, right? Like suck, inhale, blow." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I do it. And let me tell you something. I don't know what it is from whenever the first time you hit the za to the next to the last time or whatever. You take a break, but whenever you hit this za, it's a whole different experience. It really is. I hit that shit and dead ass shit was moving. I was like, man, I'm thirsty. I got some DP. I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm laying on the couch. I'm watching Family Guy. Everybody else is vibing around just smoking weed normally. I'm sitting there. I'm actually having a full blown experience. I'm I'm hit with it. I'm like, man, everything's moving. Everything's so funny. Everything is this. Everything is that. I'm hungry. I'm happy. I'm sleepy. It was just, it was just an interesting time. And I take a few more hits or whatever, whatever, and so I lay down on the couch, and Lane's brother and Hannah and the other chick, they're getting ready to go. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. And I'm 13 years old. I'm a young man, and I see an amazing looking shawty in Hannah. She's a beautiful woman, I think. And I was like, hey, Hannah. And I was laying on the couch. I'm sleepy as hell. They're literally getting ready to leave, like right now. And I'm like, Hannah. And she was like, what? And I'm just laying on the couch. I'm slumped out. This 13-year-old me, she's like 19. And I'm like, hey, Hannah. And she's like, what? And I'm like, can I have a kiss before you go? And she was like, oh, he wants a kiss. And they started laughing at me. And I'm too dumb to realize they're laughing at me. But I was like, yeah, like, trying to be smooth and shit as a 13-year-old with my little 13-year-old Riz. No Riz. I got a pity kiss on the cheek for sure. She was like, "Oh, you're so sweet," and then came over and gave me a kiss on the cheek and then left, and I never saw her again. Never seen this woman again in my life. But she gave me a pity kiss on the cheek whenever I was high as hell, and then she just left, walked out of my life. Never saw her again. And then the next day, I mean, I just enjoyed the rest of the high. And the next day, we just woke up, went back to my crib, and we just got back on Call of Duty. But I remember I was walking back to my crib, and I was like in a daze. I was like, man, damn, like that's what it was like. That's all it was. That's all smoking weed was, and that's what everyone tried to keep me from. That's all I could think about. I was like, that's all it was. Like I'm a little tired. That was it. I don't know. It was interesting, and so from then on, it was like, man, like it really wasn't that bad. If anything, at the time, it was just expensive because it was $20 for a fucking gram. But that soon changed within the years I started smoking. But I don't know. I was sitting here, I'm playing this shit, and I'm just like, damn. I thought it'd be cool to reminisce on that one. I don't know. It was just interesting because it seemed like I was being told a lot of things that, again, that's like I'd already been realizing things around me were being told to me that weren't true. So to hear that one and to see that one firsthand and experience that one firsthand, not weed not be as bad as everyone told me it was. It was like, oh, okay, word. This is interesting. I just saw that you hopped on. So I invited you to the party, and I thought it'd be cool to talk about it. It's been a minute since we actually got to chill together. So, but shit, dog. I'm about to hop off here in a sec. You have a great rest of your night, though, man. I'll talk to you next time.